I'm not obsessed with Baby Yoda. You're obsessed with Baby Yoda. Oh, Baby Yoda. I literally bought this doll for my nephew, and then it turns out he already had this Baby Yoda, so clearly I just have to keep it for myself.
This is the way.
Season 2, Mandalorian, started. Day. What happened? What did we see in this crazy episode?
We are reintroduced to the Mandalorian and the child as they're out on their adventures, and we actually go back to Tatooine,
Back to Tatooine.
frickin' Tatooine. It's an entire galaxy, and it all revolves around one planet that's
Just
supposed
right
to be
there.
on the outer rim, but I guess is the center of the universe. But we're back on Tatooine, and we're seeing some familiar characters, Tuskens, Jawas, and they have to go to Mos Pelego, or Peligro, something, and
Yeah, Pellegrino. I think it was Moss Pellegrino. Pretty
Mos
sure.
Pellegrino. But he had to go and help the Marshal, Timothy Oliphant, get rid of a sand dragon.
Yeah, a crate dragon that to me was a suspiciously looked like a Beetlejuice sandworm. So,
Yeah.
jury's out on whether they're going to get sued or not. But, for now, we'll just kind of roll with it.
Well, didn't you see they had
Um,
a Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin were extras? They were throwing stuff at the dragon.
totally, totally. I caught him in the background. I liked the episode because it's like Mandalorian is just so confidently is like, this is what we're doing. We're gonna get Star Wars as a Western. This is it. Mandalorian knows what it wants to do. The couple things that annoyed me, like we're never gonna leave Tatooine, and I just kind of rolled with it. You know what I mean?
The songs of eons past tell of battles between Mandalore the Great and an order of sorcerers called Jedi.
In general, I'm loving the show. I love that it's doing simple storytelling really well. I love how it's filling out the right kind of details of the Star Wars universe, like Tusken sign language,
Yep.
as opposed to Han Solo is solo because he was by himself when he signed up. That's dumb. Nobody wanted that. All these little details are really fun. I think the one problem I have with The Mandalorian, and it feels like it's going to persist endlessly, is the fact that they don't really take the danger of the child very seriously. From episode to episode, he's allowed to walk around, and it's like they're in a 1980s punk alley in the beginning of the thing, and he's just letting a little baby walk
Yeah.
around. And as we find out, there's monsters with red eyes that live in the darkness, but the baby's
Right.
just walking around.
There's that opening sequence where he's trying to, he's going to kind of coerce some information out of this guy who may know where another Mandalorian is hanging out. And he gets into this gunfight, and then he's like, oh yeah. And he kicks the Baby Yoda carriage across the room. So it's not directly in the line of fire, but it's good parenting. I don't really know.
This is the way.
Even though he's being typecast, it's still Timothy Oliphant. How can we get enough of Timothy Oliphant? So I'm willing to accept it. He first walked in, and he's so lanky, and he's wearing this Mandalorian armor. And I thought, is this a teenager? Is it going to be like a teenager as the Marshal? I was like, oh, it's just very lanky, tall Timothy Oliphant. That is okay. He just looked a little awkward. He honestly looks kind of awkward in the armor.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite get over that. There was this awesome bro chemistry between them. And I was like, I didn't really buy it. They're like, wait, Mando, you could just literally take his armor. And he's like, well, if you could just help me with this thing, I'll give you the armor. Like, Mando, sometimes you're just too good. You're just too nice.
Yeah.
You
Well,
didn't have to help.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
don't
the
know.
appeal, I guess, of him.
Yeah.
It's why we like him so much. Well, because look, in the opening scene, he leaves that one guy for dead hanging from the light,
Right.
right? So he is cold and cruel and ruthless, and so we need that moral compass to keep us
Yep.
in love with the Mandalorian. And
Congratulations on the rising body count.
Ain't proud of it.
This is the third time, I swear, where he's like, take care of the kid, and he jumps into immediate, almost certain death. And I'm like, Mando, you're the worst fucking parent. Please stop trying to sacrifice your life, or you just don't want to take care of this kid.
look, Mando, just because you'd like to have a beer with the guy doesn't mean he can raise your kid.
Right.
Don't just die, my dude. You're the
Suddenly
dad.
he's so desperate to get rid of this kid that every chance he gets, he will jump into the belly of a crate dragon. He's like, hey, take my kid, please.
This is the way.
can't get rid of a baby Yoda.
Weird
Oh,
albino baby Yoda. For me, the humor was actually pretty good in this. The Amy Sedaris, it was on the brink for me of being a
yeah,
little
yeah.
too much,
Oh, yeah.
like a little
It was.
too
It was
Marvel.
right.
But it was done. They pulled back from going too
Yeah.
far with that sort of slapsticky
And she's
humor.
been there before in that's first season episodes. I was like, oh, okay, we're bringing back a character and we're kind of having a little fun with her. And I was like, yeah, let's just not go too far here, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Jon Favreau
tonally.
likes to make the funnies with
Yeah.
the droids.
Despite being this fearsome warrior, he's also kind of a uniter of people. Like he brings together people and makes them work together. And this episode was like all about that. It's all about Tusken Raiders and kind of settlers on the frontier being forced to work together. And Mandalorian is kind of their peacemaker. He's kind of the referee, and that definitely was prominent in season one. And it seems like they're really gonna make that a big part of season two as well. Last shot of the episode, turns out it looks like Boba Fett is still possibly alive and out there without his armor.
Yeah.
So I have to imagine we're gonna maybe not have it next episode, but at some point very soon in the future, Boba Fett and our Mando are going to cross paths, and Boba Fett's not really a Mandalorian, but maybe he has some knowledge of I mean, he's run in with the Jedi before, and Mando's looking for the Jedi, so we'll see where that goes.
That's a great cliffhanger. That's really
Yep.
fun to see that they got the same actor who played Django
Yep.
back to play Boba. And, Boba survived that Sarlacc pit. And maybe
Right.
that's how that crate dragon got into the Sarlacc pit home, which I didn't
Yeah.
know Sarlacc pits were caves. I thought they were pits. Playing a
We're
little
learning
loose
so
with it.
much about the flora and fauna of the Star Wars universe through
And
Mandalorian.
stinky Tuscan Raider pumpkins. That was a Tuscan pumpkin spice latte. That's what they tried to
Totally.
that
They're
was a
all
Tuscan
on that.
PSL.
It's seasonal, but they really love it when it's available. Mandalorian's kind of carrying on this tradition of, Clone Wars and Rebels, where they're sort of, I don't want to say like fixing things from the trilogies or from the movies, but really expanding things. Where like Tusken Raiders didn't get a lot of development, in the movies, and like where was Boba Fett? Did he survive? Like they're really delving into these things that the other animated TV shows really did well, and I think that hopefully bodes well for Mandalorian's future.
The Mandalorian can best be summed up by that one scene watching the people watch the second Death Star explode. And that feeling of like, oh my God, it's the same, but it's very different too, and it can do its own things. That kind of possibility is what, is so exciting about Mandalorian.
Wherever I go, he goes. So I've heard.
I'm certainly excited too. We hope you guys are. We're going to keep having reviews on a weekly basis of every episode. So come join the fun. Be along for the adventure. We'll see you guys next week.
That's right. Show them that weird little albino Yoda again. He's little keyed out. That's so beautiful. All right. Catch us next week. We'll see you then.